Hey folks, how we going? Thanks for stopping in. Welcome to another live. Hey Collector's Pig, how you doing, man? Sorry it took me a second to wait to get the chat up on screen there, somebody just seen your message. I'm really good, man, thank you. How are you keeping? Hope you're well. That's good to hear. I'm absolutely buzzing because I'm a big United fan and we actually managed to win tonight. So that's 3 consecutive wins, which mightn't seem like much, but given current form is a pretty big deal. So I'm absolutely pumped off of that. We're actually up to are we third in the league? Fourth? We're in the top 4 anyway, which is pretty awesome. So but yeah, I just thought I'd pop on here tonight and do a wee bit more building, get a wee live going. I haven't actually made it on too much in recent times. It's been hardly busy, sort of in the real world, and yeah, haven't really got the chance to sort of get online and do too much of late. So I thought so we sort of spur evening here, and I'm sort of itching to get building with this set. So you're all good, man. Thank you very much for saying hi. Don't take care. Have a good weekend. So yeah, we'll just keep on building here anyway. We're going to move this set on a little bit further. So in previous live streams we got, well, as you can see in front of me here, we've got the first 2 levels built quite substantially. So we're now moving on up to this level now, which is cool. This was a really cool build so far. Some really interesting, no problem. I'm not staying on very long tonight. It's only going to be about an hour stream top, so we'll see. But take care anyway, mate. So yes, previously we got the first 2 levels built up anyway. As I was saying, there's some really cool build techniques, some really great part usage, some nice little design features and elements. It's quite creative, it's quite imaginative. The little sort of huts that sort of make up the buildings within each level are quite small, but still pack in quite a chunk of detail. We've got a little ice cream parlour up here. We've got this little restaurant here, like a noodle bar or something. Got a few other little bits and pieces down here. I haven't been putting the stickers on the set. I don't know if that's obvious or not from what you can see. Hi, Sisame E2S. How are you? Yes, it takes a good while. It's a pretty decent size of a set. So I've been working on this previously over a couple of streams. Hopefully get a bit more of it built tonight. But it's a nice set, so it's not such a big problem building slowly. It's nice to sort of be able to enjoy your way through it, I suppose. Well, it's very cool. So we've got our next minifigure here. This is a very interesting chap. So I'll just put him together here and then I'll bring him up to the camera, let you have a little bit of a look. He has got a funky bowler hat, some really interesting printing. So this is, figures are all on the box here, so I should be able to find him. Why can't I find him? The mechanic. Okay. So here we have the mechanic. And he has a bit of interesting weaponry. Sisame asks, how many Legos have you made? A lot. I don't really know how to put a number on it, to be honest. I build a lot of Lego. I own a lot of Lego. You'll probably be able to see a lot of it up there behind me, but I've certainly built hundreds of sets anyway, at the very least. Possibly more, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, quite a few. Quite a few is the sort of straightforward answer. What about yourself? Do you build any Lego or? Okay, so just going to find a little gun here. The cat's currently running about the head around here like a nut job. Rick Turzani, how you doing, mate? How are you? Good to see you. Hope you're keeping well. Oh, you've got football tomorrow, brilliant. do you play for like a local team or a school team or what's your football? I used to play football, but I'm too old now. My body's not fit for it, unfortunately. I was a goalkeeper, so safe hands. Hey Demos Puppets, how are you? Ipswich access, okay, very cool. And how do you think you're going to get on tomorrow? Is it a tough match or what's the crack? Are you hoping to win? Just read this minifigure very quickly first. Demos, how you doing? Oh, you're a keeper as well. Excellent. We're in no pun intended. You're in good hands here. Yes, I was a goalkeeper as well. I've sort of I haven't fully hung up my boots yet, but I'm no longer attached to a team. I don't have time to play it really, to be honest. And like I said, I'm getting too old. My body's falling apart on me, so it's not so much fun anymore. But I do enjoy when I'm kicking about with my mates. I do enjoy going in the nest. It's a bit of crack. Demos Puppets, how you doing? Hope you're well. Thanks for dropping by and saying hello. Remember, folks, give us a wee thumbs up while you're here. I'd really appreciate it. And give us a sub. How can we not? See some mates nervous. I hear you. It's a tough position. It's lonely in there. But you'll do good, Hopefully you have a good defensive front. Yeah, I'm just going to show you this minifigure very, very quickly. So this is called the Mechanic. So there you can see, sorry about the lighting there, you can see, so we've actually got dual molded legs on this one, so we've got black boots. Some really cool printing on the torso and on the face. I don't know how easy it is to see that, but he's got cool printing on his face. And then a wee bit more printing on the back of the torso, and then he's got this serious piece of equipment here. I don't know if that's meant to be a gun or what, but I certainly won't be getting in the way of that. That's for sure. So I'll just stick him out of the way and let's sort of crack on with the build. Brickters, how you doing, mate? Hope you off for half term next week? Any plans? Oh, Felix, so okay, very good. Well, that won't be easy, but you know, you have to play the best and you have to beat the best, so I'm sure you've trained well. I always enjoy playing the top teams because I generally find there's a little less expectation. You know, they usually sort of come in as the favourites or something like that, you know, so it takes a wee bit of pressure off you and you can just sort of step up and do your thing and hopefully look good. Hopefully you get a clean sheet. (9-2), wow. What age group is this? That's a lot of goals. And here you did, well, if you were in nest for that match, you did a downside better than their goalkeeper did. Right, so in regards to set, sorry, I forgot to actually introduce what it was I was building. So we're building Ninjago City Gardens. It's set number 71741. So it's the third in the Ninjago City sets. After the Ninjago City itself and Ninjago City Markets. So yeah, it's a very good set. I've had this for a little while and I just recently decided to build it. I don't have the two falling off in this yet, but I will be getting them. So it's actually retired last Christmas. So yes, it's a really interesting set. They're all kind of built in a sort of modular fashion. That allows you to sort of join them all together and create like a big Ninjago City. So I hope at some point, somewhere within my layout, that I will actually have a Ninjago City. I've got a couple of other smaller Ninjago sets that I can incorporate in as well. But yeah, I've sort of been keen to get this set built for quite some time, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to sort of do it now. All the rest. So yeah, we've been building it for over a couple of streams, and yeah, we're getting on quite well with it. So I don't know how much I'll get done tonight. I don't intend to stay on for terribly long tonight, but I haven't really haven't really managed to get on much at all recently for various reasons, and I just thought it'd be nice to get on and get a wee bit of building done while I have a little bit of spare time. So yes, so we're sort of building the platform that forms the top of the next layer. It's just all plates. It's come together very quickly for that reason. So yeah, it's very much just layering up lots of plates at the minute, and then that'll give us a base on which to start building some of the more sort of interesting aspects of the build. So there's lots of little huts and buildings, details and whatnot. How's everybody else's Saturday night? And I hope everybody's doing well. Any United fans in the chat there buzzing after another good win tonight? I know I am. No, my cat is going. The cat's going nuts in the background here. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's gonna be a bit funny. And here he comes. Okay. Hey. It's okay. We're almost finished this bag. It was a nice quick one. Like I said, it is just all plate work. It does build up very quickly. Not the most exciting part about this, but I suppose it's the foundations of the build, so it's pretty important. It is quite a lump of a set too, so it takes up a lot of space and it does sort of build up very quickly. I missed something here, but maybe not. Okay, we're all good, we're all good. Just at the minute, I'm just throwing all the spare pieces into this drawer here. I'll tie them all up at some point. I just can't be bothered doing much with them now. I've been using this little table actually for some other activities recently, and I sort of have to tidy all my streaming equipment away. Yeah, I've definitely forgot to do something. I'm missing a few of these lightweight grey pieces, but I suspect that I know where they go. There's a few joints here which are not attached up, and I think that's where the light grey goes in, just to hold the whole thing together and give it a bit more stability. Right, so that's the end of that bag. I'm actually going to switch things around here because I don't like the parts sitting on this side. And I'll grab the next bag here now. That stuff up there. So we've got another minifigure here. As we move on to the 14th section, which comes with 1, 2, I thought there was 3 bags for this actually, I think I missed something. So 3 bags actually for part 14, so quite a few parts here. Do I have the space? So this basically will go on like so. Yes. Oh, it's not very well put together there. Right, so yeah, this will go on like so. So it doesn't actually. Something's not quite right here. Oh, there we go. It doesn't actually. There's no points of attachment. for this platform on the level below. It just has place for on around the edges that create just a little sort of edge for the platform section to sit along the tiles on the section below. So it's just sitting on there with gravity actually. But that just sits very neatly on there. So again, very easy to lift the layer off if you want to get access into the buildings below, or sort of split the setup a little bit. I'll just get all of these bags out. There's quite a few bags here, so there's a lot of parts coming out. And first up we have a minifigure. So this is a little older lady called Misako, I believe. So, I know I've said this sort of consistently throughout previous streams of this build. I'm not really an Ninjago person, so I don't really know the characters. And sort of a lot of the references and stuff within the builds I don't really get, which is kind of unfortunate, but this is a really, really big chunk of parts for like one section of the build. There's obviously a lot of detail going into this building that we're going to be putting together here on this platform. So I'll just tip that all out anyway. There we go. Right, like I said, first up we've got the minifigure. So, yeah, Misako is this lady's name, and not a huge amount to talk about. It's a very standard face with a printing on both sides of the head. Struggling to see the difference. Okay. The eyebrows are raised on one side and not on the other. So it's just a little sort of older lady with little wrinkles on her cheek, nice glasses, and then she's just got like a little sort of cardigan jacket on with a wee blouse underneath and long grey hair. So I'm not coming right up to the camera with this one, but there you go. And that's what the minifigure looks like anyway. And welcome back, Season May. You can relax with my build, get yourself nice and chill before you have to go to bed and start thinking about your big game tomorrow. So anyway, we'll crack on here. And we're just starting to build up this section then on the platform. So I think here we've got, let's have a look. This looks like a building, a house perhaps, or something. It's quite substantial. It's taken up the majority of this floor, to be honest. The section is going on here, so I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe a wee toy store or something. We'll crack on with the build, and it will obviously become a bit more obvious whenever we sort of get through it. There's no point me sitting here guessing. Just looking at the parts that are sitting here, there's a lot of interesting weapons. We've got a katana, and we've got this funky sort of serpent staff here with the snake head on it, and we've got some spinning boyos. I don't know. Not sure what that is. Yeah, and lots of tiles and plates and all different bits and pieces. So there's some interesting stuff going on in here. Oh, and there's a piece I've never seen before. So it's just a little 1x1 tile with a wee bit of printing on it. It's almost like a little switch or something. I don't know. You'll never be able to see that. But okay, and we'll get building. So we're building this nice sort of reddish yellow colour. I'm not sure what the official colour is called here, but it's really nice. And that's just building up the wall now. The wall's actually kind of built sort of off the base itself. I support Man United, so I'm happy at the minute. We're on some, well, I'm going to say good form. It's nothing to be excited about, but given how United have been playing up to date, it is very good form for us. So up to 4th in the league too. We'll probably not stay there long because I'm sure Liverpool will get back to winning ways tonight against Brentford. and jump back above us. But for now, it's just nice to be sitting above them because we've been really struggling of late. Who do you support? Ipswich? Okay, so we have like, this is nice. This looks like a little toy version of a Ninjago temple or something here we're building. Which then just sits on the shelf in this little building, presumably someone's room. Maybe a Lego collector, maybe a kid, I don't know. If I could find the pieces, I would build it and I'd have a look. It's not proving that easy. I don't know what green that is. Oh, it's this one. I'm just missing a wee 1x2 jumper in, looks like dark tan actually. Don't have a lot of space here. I used to have a second table beside me which just gave me a wee bit more room to spread the parts out on and sort of build off, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm not sure if I'm going to move some of these bigger parts out of the way a little bit. And all of the kind of windows and stuff like that. I'm going to pop these bits of glazing in as well. That's not quite where we're at yet in the build, but I'm going to have to do it at some point, so I'm doing now. Although, I just need to double check we don't have more. Oh, that's like bluish grey. Okay, that's why I couldn't find it right. They're sitting right here in front of me the whole time. So yeah, it looks like a little mini version of a Ninjago temple. I don't really know Ninjago very well, so I don't really know what this temple would be or could be. I know the Temple of Erjitsu, I believe. Pretty confident that that's one. I don't know anything beyond that, to be very honest with you. If any Ninjago fans out there, maybe you could help me out a little bit with some of the temples and what this little build here might be representing. You generally find when you make these little builds within a set that it sort of correlates with a sort of a real life build. Crank V or says I have that set. Have you built it, Crank? Or and like what have you done with it? Have you displayed it, or do you have a lot of the sort of Ninjago city sets? Have you got like a layout or anything with them, or what do you do with it? What's your intention? Right, I've got a door here with a very cool little compass piece for the handle. Where is the actual door? There we go. So it goes on that way. I just find the compass piece. There it is. And north is pointing up. So again, there should be a little sticker on the door, on the window of the door. But as per the rest of the build, I'm just going to leave that off for now. There's not a lot of clearance actually in this doorway. You can see that little temple build there is sort of quite obstructive actually. If you're going through the door, you're going to bump straight into that little shelf with the temple. I don't know how well you can see that, but there you go. So that's the little temple then that I just built up, which I have no idea what it could be, but you can see it's just a nice wee Lego version there on the wall in that room. Alright, maybe building up another wall section here. So again, I'm missing a little bit of detail here because there are stickers in this section of the set, and once again I'm not including the stickers within my build. So there's a couple of little pictures on the inside of the wall. just represent figures, perhaps, by the looks of it, from here anyway. But I am not putting any of the stickers in at this stage, so they won't be there. So it kind of, like I said, it just eliminates a lot of the detail from the set, which isn't ideal, I suppose, but that's just how I've chosen to build it for now. Anyway, I might come back at some point and put all the stickers in. We'll see. I haven't entirely decided yet how I'm going to approach it. Okay. Easy tiger. So we're building this in my hands rather than a flat surface, so that's quite a bit of breaking on me as I go through it. Right. Let's get it all up to the same level, and then I presume it'll all join together at the top, and I'll just make it a little bit more solid. So we just need a wee gold hook. What have I done wrong? Yeah, that's the wrong way around. I need that, and what else? I'm struggling to find some of these pieces. Oh, here we go. That goes on like so. Spin it around, the back goes there, and then this little hoop bit goes on. Oh, this is just a really annoying section of the build. There's like three sets of brick here built beside one another, but they don't overlap in any way, so there's no sort of structural integrity across it. Every time you put something on, another bit falls off. It's quite infuriating. But there you go, we got there. Just missing the plates that the stickers went onto at the end of the picture, so I'll pop them on, so they're not going to look like much at the minute, but like I said, I might come back to that at some point and pop the stickers in. I don't know, we'll see. Right, okay, so it looks like that's really interesting use. So it's just a little kind of three-pronged sort of plant twig pieces. I'm not sure exactly what they're called. Really interesting usage here. So it's actually being used as like an entry or like a turnstile to get into whatever this particular building is, which is quite unique and interesting. I've never quite seen it used like that before. And it actually spins around as well, which is quite good. It's very easy. That's quite neat. And then we have what appears like a little cash register or something here. Looking for more of these little tiny printed tiles. They're not the easiest to find in amongst everything else here. And I'm missing a little clip as well. But they're all light bluish grey. Okay. So that might be it, is it? Yay. And there's the clip as well. It just goes on at a wee angle. And then I'm not sure if that's the right piece or not actually. There's like a wee calculator. I don't see what else it could be, so I'm just going to go with that one. If it's wrong, I can change it sort of as we come to it. Okay, so like a little counter then that we're building in there. You can just see it in here. There's a little counter with the little control panel there, and then this little barrier here controlling entrance into whatever this particular building is. Right, so now just a bit more of this kind of dark tan paper and goes all the way around. So it kind of forms the foundation of this particular building. was just using lots of these really sort of 2x2, almost like wedge placing, to just have this corner cut out of them. And it's just creating sort of the foundation for whatever this building is here, then just getting built onto the platform. The outline of it anyway, and then an absolute mountain of yellow brick then, that's going to go on top here. Then we've a little bit of plate work then going around the sort of outer edge, so some lightweight grey, a few different shapes and sizes. We've got triangular pieces, we've got the little sort of, something like an L shape again with the edge cut out of it. And some of the wee quarter circles as well. I'm not sure what it is exactly that we're building up here, but okay, a bit more to do down the other side here as well. In fact, there's a lot more paperwork coming up. This whole sort of side section along the bottom here all needs painted up in the exact same fashion. So carry on with that. Right, and then this last little section, so it's just the same again, more of these triangular pieces then running across the bottom of the plate. I should put them on the right way. And then we need a couple of the one by one plates, or them. I'm not really sure what it is we're building up here, to be honest, but some sort of interesting little shapes and patterns going on here. Oh, no mistake. I have no idea what I've done with my brick separator. I should be able to get these out with my finger, can't I? I've got a knife here, but I absolutely dread the notion of using knives on Lego in case you damage the plate, scrape the plate up. I'm going in anyway. No, I don't like that. I'm not happy with that. Alright, so that goes there. Can I get this one out? There we are. And then we have another 4 of the little triangle pieces then, just creating a wee pattern around. Dos. 3. Quattro. There we go. Okay, so that's that wee section of paper done. Now we got to put in some of these larger sections, just pretty good to build up a little bit quicker. And we have what appears to be a camera in this little section. So whatever this building represents, they're obviously security conscious. So there's a camera going in here that's paying attention to what everyone's up to. Go into our little bag of sort of weird contraptions to get another one of these pieces. And we have a stud, dark gray stud, and a little translucent plate. Now, where's the dark gray stud? Right on this right, and then it goes like that, and then that camera just angles inward, and then that goes on the corner there. Sure if that's completely right, is it? Yeah, it is. There we go. Okay, so the camera is just looking down into this little section where the sort of entrance barrier is, and now we have some sort of jewel that's being presented nicely in this little case. And I suspect that the camera will be focusing very heavily on this. Okay, there we go. And this nice big corner window panel lens goes in here as well. And that goes there. So the building's starting to take a bit more shape now. We've got a few of these sort of bigger panel pieces in, which just kind of fleshes it out a bit. And then we have what is presumably a little sort of magazine rack, you know, the little ones you would get in little touristy places, maybe selling postcards that rotate around, with lots of interesting little bits and pieces on them. Matt Wilson 7455 said, Hi Matt, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Okay, and we're just placing lots of little sort of random tiles. Lots of these are the ones that were in the little dots packs. You know, you got the wee funky tiles with like little rainbows on them, or little sort of whirly, swirly bits and pieces there. They're quite interesting. I don't know what this represents, if it's maybe postcards or something else, I'm not entirely sure. Now with another layer of them here, I'll just kind of alternate them around a little bit. I love this little 1x1 plate here with the well, it looks like a switch. I'm not sure what it actually represents. I'm sure it has a very specific job in another set perhaps, but in this case it's essentially just being used to represent a little postcard or something like that. There's a piece then due to go on top of this here, but I haven't actually seen it. Since I opened out one of these bags, it's definitely not sitting anywhere here. There's meant to be, you know, like the kind of hatch door opening piece, or it's like a steering wheel, but it's not here. It's definitely not here. I definitely haven't seen it. And I didn't even notice it whenever I was emptying out the bags. So we might be missing a piece here. I'm not going to fret too much. It's not really integral to the build in any way, shape or form, but obviously for completeness it would be nice to have it. I could be being, you know, super blind and it's just sitting right in front of me and I'm just not seeing it. Or there's another bag 14 that I've missed, but I can't imagine that's the case. I don't see it. I'm just going to leave it for now. I'll come back to it at another point. I'm pretty confident that I have multiple of them in my collection. So if it's not here, I'll either reach out to Lego. I don't like reaching out to Lego for missing pieces because unless it's a particularly important piece, it just seems like an awful waste of money and resource having one piece sent out. And I know at the end of the day I paid for the set and I should expect to get all the pieces that are included within it, but in the grand scheme of things, for one little insignificant piece, it just seems hard to justify, you know, contacting customer services and having them send me out that one piece, which is what they'll do. So all that packaging just for, you know, one little missing piece, just, I don't like that. So I'll come back to that at another point. But for now, it's in its position. It's quite snug, to be honest, in this little corner, but it fits in. Just realised I actually missed a piece of the temple. I forgot to put the little hot dog bit on, which obviously represents like a little sort of bridge or something like that there along the front of it. There we go. I'm gonna carry on building for now then. You never know, maybe the piece will turn up, and maybe it's sort of fallen or something. I don't know. I definitely don't see it. It's definitely not sort of sitting in any of the bags. You know, sometimes you tip the parts out and one sneaky little piece stays in the bag and you don't notice it, but it's absolutely not the case. Yeah, so we're just building up the wall now to the rear of the building. I've always been really fortunate, to be honest, with missing pieces. They actually just recently finished building the Dungeons and Dragons set. If anyone's even remotely interested, I have done a build series on it with multiple shorts kind of documenting daily my progress. And I've actually just finished it there yesterday, so if anyone's interested, you could go and sort of check that out and work your way through the series. But yeah, I finished building that quite recently, and I actually thought that I was missing all of the capes that were meant to come in the set, because they usually come in like a little box or something. And whenever I opened it up and I was kind of working my way through it, I couldn't find any capes anywhere. But there's a large dragon build, which you do sort of right at the end of the build, and there's actually like some really neat cloth pieces that come with it for the wings. And it turned out that so they were basically distributed separately from distributed separately from the rest of the parts in a paper bag, or like a little paper envelope almost. Now, I was of the impression that all that was in that was the wings, but whenever I tipped it out, and thankfully I hadn't contacted Lego prior to this point, because like I said, I was convinced that the parts were missing, but all of the capes for the minifigures were actually in with the dragon wings. So crisis averted in that instance. I have been waiting until I completed the set before I was going to sort of contact Lego, to be honest. So there was no real risk there, but yeah, I thought for a moment that all the capes were missing, and I would have been pretty cheesed off if that was the case. But as it happens, they weren't, and there was nothing to be worried about. So yeah, I'm generally pretty lucky when it comes to missing pieces. I don't often, or I very rarely ever have any, to be honest. Just a few more wee windows to pop in here, so I'm just going to stick the pins into them. another lovely colour scheme. The colour schemes in this set are fantastic. You know, the blues and there's like a sort of flash tone with the dark red, and there's like a really nice green with red. It's just really, really well presented. All the little bills and stuff in this set, so it's very good. I've got two bigger windows here, which are the ones that tilt open. And I know all the panes were there, but bizarrely I'm now struggling to find one of those. There it is. Okay, and then just a wee bit of plate work then around the top of it. Just pull the whole piece together. Nice, one of these nice little, it's kind of like a 3x3 corner piece, but it's curved. It's quite nice. Again, just sort of helps, quite a bit of this in this set, but it just creates a wee bit of a sort of variation in kind of the shape. There's lots of sort of overhangs and angles and sort of walls built at angles and stuff, and it's nice because it just takes away from that sort of normal square build, which can look a bit unimaginative sometimes. So that's just very, very subtle way to do it. You know, it is a square corner, but they use that little sort of curved or rounded off brick, and it just gives the impression of a sort of rounded section of the build as opposed to the sort of squareness that it actually is. Okay, now we just have tiles in going on top, so that'll finish off presumably this side of the build in, because we're not going to put any more detail down into that. So I don't know, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe a little museum or something, or again I don't know Ninjago, so I don't know what it could be or what it should be or what it might be. You know, sort of a little bit lost when it comes to these sets on the grounds of I've no sort of knowledge of Ninjago itself and all the rest of it. It doesn't take away from the build, it's still a fantastic build. There's, like I say, some really interesting details and build techniques and part usage and all sorts, so it's still a lot of fun to put together, even without sort of understanding the ins and out of it all. Okay, now just a wee bit of detailing going on the outside, so that's just done with some of these it's just the plates with kind of the railing on the side of them, and then a wee bit of tile work then just to sort of decorate it and make it look a bit more interesting. It has a crab on the outside of the there's kind of like a little bit of signage going on the outside of the building here, and there's a crab, so I don't know what this is really meant to represent. Maybe there's like a little restaurant on one side or something, I'm not sure. There's a big red crab anyway. I'll turn it around in a second and let you have a look at just how it's finished off once I put these last couple of details in. There's a sort of big sign that goes on the side of it as well. Now again, it's not going to look as good as it does in the pictures or in the instructions, because I'm not putting so it's like there's like a big funky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is kind of hexagonal, but it's a very kind of non-standard hexagon. It's certainly 6-sided, so it's a hexagon miniature, and it's like a translucent pink colour. So it's a really interesting part. But then there are there's stickers placed on it as well, just to give it a bit more detail. So I'm not putting the stickers on, so that will obviously eliminate a good chunk of the detail from the set and from this little section, but you just have to use your imagination. But I'll build this sign up anyway that clips in, and then I'll just turn it around and have a wee quick look. That's 15 minutes, so I hadn't intended on streaming for much more than an hour tonight, but we'll see what the time's up whenever I finish this section is built, and if we've got time, I can maybe do a wee bit more. We'll see. So this is the piece I'm talking about here. I don't know how easy that is to see given the sort of colour of it. But yeah, you can see there's got 2 clips on it, and it's very hard to see. But yeah, so that's the part anyway that we're using here. And like I said, this meant to have stickers on it to just add a bit of detail, but I'm not putting the stickers on. And then we've got just using a few of these weapon pieces to create an interesting little sort of sword design on the side of this sign. So that's goes like that. That go that way. Turn them around a bit. Alright, and that goes that way. Great, anyone that is just tuning in, thank you first and foremost, and please do consider just giving us a little thumbs up, hitting that like button, double tapping your screen, whatever it is. I'd be really appreciative of that. And this should just clip into here. There we go. So like I said, I'll turn this around, let you have a little bit of a look. But so that's just the front of the little building there. So you can see the big crab on one side. And then you can see that cool sign there with the weaponry sort of along the sides, just framing it all off. Like I said, it doesn't look exactly as it should. On the grounds, I haven't put any of the stickers on, but it has like a really interesting sort of pattern on there with various bits of. Actually, it looks like a mouth, like a dragon mouth with a flame coming out of it, and there's a bit of writing around it as well. So that's just a wee bit of detail that's missing anyway. As I've said before, I may come back at some point and add the sticker on just to add that detail in, but I don't, at this stage I'm not entirely sure how, when, and if I will. So another little camera going in here. We're getting through all these wee random pieces very nicely. Just kind of expecting that there might be lots of spurs, but everything's kind of incorporated into the set in some shape or form. It goes like that. I forgot to put the bar of the clip in. There we are. Okay, so we've got our second camera, so it's pointing the other direction. Definitely very security conscious here anyway. Goes in like so, and then we have that goes in there. And that just finishes it all off nicely. There's a bit of a gap there though, which I don't like. I presume there's going to be a couple of bricks or something going to that side section just to close that off. Yeah, there is, of course there is. Okay. Both sides. So these walls build up quite quickly because they use these sort of angular panel pieces. I don't really know how to describe them, but they're what? They're 4 by 6 tall. And then they're still deep, but they sort of run at a 45-degree angle. And the great thing is it obviously just builds up the walls quite quickly, you know, so you sort of get a good chunk of the structure done without having to use a whole lot of parts. It doesn't take anywhere as much time. Right, so we're moving on to another little sort of decorative piece here. Like looks like a wee dragon's head or something. So I'll just concentrate on what I'm actually doing here, because it's very easy to kind of get lost in these sections because there's a little bit of intricacy to them. A lot of smaller pieces used. Okay. That way. And that way. Another clip there. And that goes on to the neck. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what that represents. Again, I suspect these are in some way relevant within the Ninjago universe or world. That looks like some sort of a dragon or something. I don't know, it's quite hard to describe really. Then these are kind of displayed in what must be, or gives the appearance of some sort of a museum or something. And that serpent, spear, or scepter, or whatever it is, goes in there as well. So again, that's just sitting within sort of that building on a table. So you've got the camera pointing at all those things. So they're obviously of note and interest. Maybe we're just creating a wee window ledge or something, I'm not sure. They're just building up another little section of wall. A wall with a hole in the side of it. And I'm not entirely sure why that is or what that represents, but I presume we'll find out in the near future. So there is another sticker going on that piece here. There's actually one on each side, so it's almost like, is this a little kind of secret compartment or something then? So I'll let you have a look at this. So that's kind of the little section of wall that we built up there. You can see the hole in it. And then we've got, so it's these 4x4 plates with the studs on one side. There's meant to be stickers go on them. There's like a scene from like a battle, and then some like weird sort of alien, or not alien, like totem like thing on the other side. And then these both go on, so it's just covering up that little hole that we had created on the inside of the wall. So I don't know if that then is going to be like a little secret hiding spot or something. There's definitely something about it. I'm sure in due course we will understand why that little wall section is going to look like that, or indeed it may be just a reference to kind of something within the Ninjago universe that I'm just not aware of or familiar with. here with one of the micro figures on it. So it's like a little statue or a trophy or something. That goes into there. Oh, and that's quite nice. So we've got this wall here with the two little kind of bits jutting out of it, but we've previously put in these little window frames here which are empty, and it actually ends up going together like so, and it just frames those two little pieces that we've added in, so it just sort of decorates them a little bit more. Okay. Sort of capping off in the walls then, so there's a layer of template, dark template, and then we have the little layer of tiles that go around the very top of it as well. And it just holds the different sections of wall in place, and just creates that nice smooth surface for the next layer to sit on top, which makes it a lot easier to remove. That all joins together very neatly. And then again, it's just a wee bit of decoration that goes on the side here. I don't know what this is. It almost looks like a little ladder or something, but I'm not sure that's actually what it is. And a lot of spare pieces there, which doesn't quite make sense. I think I know where one is meant to go. So that's the end of that bag. Like I said, that's an extra piece here, but I think this is meant to be a wee plant on the desk here, and I think that's meant to sit on there. And yeah, lots of sort of smaller pieces left over, but they all look sensible. Pop them in there. Oh, there's found my dark separator. I'm just looking to see if any weird coincidence the missing pieces in here, but it's not. So yeah, that piece is definitely missing, unfortunately. I don't think anything fell on the ground when I was tipping the bags out, but you never know. If I come across it, I come across it. If not, like I said, it's not the end of the world. So I'll move on. We're on the bag 15 now. I'm actually going to just do that. I think that'll be the last section of the build I do tonight. So it's basically just going to finish this front of the building off here. Getting lots of this lovely bright reddish yellow colour. It's class. It's a really vibrant part of the build. Up to now, like I said, the colour schemes have been lovely, but they haven't been terribly bright. This just adds a whole lot more brightness and character and lighting. We have our latest minifigure. So we'll get the minifigure built first. There's another chap. With an eyepiece. Well, he's not. Well, he's wearing it on one side and not on the other. So he's got two faces, and he has the eyepiece flipped up on one side, covering his eye on the other. I'll cut his head back off. I forgot to put what the. Oh gosh, he had a little tassel that I forgot to put on, but I can't actually get his head off. Can't budge it at all. Oh, hold on. There we go. That was fun. I'll just pop his wee satchel on here, and then I can put his head on. I can stay on for good this time for once. As long as I can turn it around, depending how I want to represent this chap. So yeah, here we go. So this is Clutch Powers. Isn't that ironic that his name is Clutch Powers? And I put his head on and couldn't get it back off again. So I'll let you have a wee bit of a look at him there. So that's kind of him in the front there. You can just see him there with some nice jacket printing. He's got a wee shirt underneath there, jacket open. Nothing particularly fancy about the legs. And then he has that little face with the eye patch. And then again, a wee bit more printing on the back of the jacket, and then in this case the eye patch is just flipped up. So then he has this nice head of brown hair. Throw him there, and I'll crack on with the build. I'll get this little section done, and then that'll be me wrapping up for the night then. It's hard to find some of the pieces here because they're all the same colour. There it is. You know what I'm going to do? I always like to put all the little panes into the windows, just in case for some bizarre reason they would end up getting scratched or something like that. I feel like there might be another bag 15 in it, because I've got a large window pane here but no large window. This doesn't entirely add up. I hope that's not the case, because I kind of want to. Well, I would say maybe that's used for something else. I don't know. We'll come back to that. Anyway. Right, so where are we up to? Pattern in there again with a little gold leaf inside the gold kind of ring. And this to go in underneath the 1x6s. All the way these 1x1 plates instead of 1x2. There's two 1x1s instead of one 1x2 now. Again, it might just come down to part count. You know, they maybe only really use so many parts and they're already using the 1x1 somewhere and they haven't used the 1x2. I don't know. I don't recall coming across it. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. But it just feels like such a waste of parts. You know, it's doubling the part count for two tiny little sections. Oh, some lovely sideways building coming up here. Really nice technique to build these windows inside with. I like it. helps you create a really unique window design. It's a really good method for building sort of train carriages to build the windows inside of this, because you can get those wider and sort of shallower style windows, which is good. I'll show you once I finish later. We'll look up. So you can see the windows, I can hold them up that direction, that's kind of how they're built, with one of the wee windows on each side, and then got the 1x2 plate and translucent plate, and then the tile on top. But then in reality, so they're actually getting attached onto this section here. So what you have is you have one that goes like that, and one that goes like that. And you get the wee window sideways, so they're just a little bit wider and not as tall, which just creates a slightly different look, and it's nice. And then obviously because you've got the plates on the side here, then you can build tight up to the edge of that, and then there's a nice, it allows you to create that nice red frame around the windows as well. And then we have these little sections to build up here. That will then just create that nice dark reddish brown frame that goes on the top of the windows. So at the minute, obviously that colour only runs around the other three sides of the window, and there's no, because the windows are built sideways, there's no studs on the top section here to attach anything onto, so sort of building down onto them from above. Again, like I said, the set uses lots of really interesting parts and techniques just to create different shapes and slightly more interesting sort of designs and architectural sort of features. Particularly good at using sort of random pieces for like awnings over doors, or like roofs and things like that. So there you go. Then that's that wee section attached on. Then you can see those lovely sideways windows then that are framed the whole way around as well. It's very cool. Maybe that's what happens. Sorry, I'm just still trying to puzzle out this window pane that I have, which doesn't have a frame to go into, but just seeing something there that could very well be how it's incorporated. I don't know. Well, we'll see in a second. Okay, we're just finishing off framing this wall here. And then just got all the plate and stuff going on now. It just pulls it all together and holds all the different sections in place, just solidifies it all. And then loads of these little ingots go on the top, and again that'll sort of add sort of further sort of integrity to the structure of the build by just linking in a couple more of the joins in. They're all these really hard pieces to pick up unless they're upside down. Just the shape of them, they almost just are impossible to lift. Alright, and then what do we have left to do? Because there's more, there's a little section goes underneath it now, with lots of trans clear brick. So essentially what we're doing here is building up a whole section of wall in its entirety, sort of away from the actual section of the build where it's going to be. So rather than building the wall up from the sort of base of the build, it's being kind of built in its entirety, and then it's going to just essentially sit at an angle. I suppose it's a great way of helping create that. So essentially what you have here is, it is basically square as I look at it, with two sections going off at a 45 degree, but in reality it's actually a large 90-degree L shape with a wedge cut out of the corner, so it would really sit like that. So this whole wall section is built at a 45 degrees, which isn't necessarily that easy to build into. But how they've done it, rather than using hinges or anything like that, what we've basically done in this case is we've run plates the whole way along with just a stud every now and again, and then the wall is being built in its entirety like this. I presume there's going to be some sort of wedge plates or something going on the side here, and it's literally just going to sit down in, but it will sit in the studs. Well, in fact, it's even smarter than that. So it uses these translucent 1x2 bricks, and that might be quite hard to see, but they don't have anything on they're completely hollowed out on the inside, so they can sit perfectly across the stud sort of anywhere within, so you can actually slide the wall about a little bit. So it's a very good idea. Okay, yeah, so the sides then are just built up using lots of these little, I don't know, they're kind of like, they're sort of like pyramids almost. They're like two-sided pyramids really. They don't come together on a solid point, they come together like a ridge point, almost like a little roof. And then this will just sit on the side of the wall, and on either side, the sort of exterior decorations were built using the plates with like the little sort of railer track down the side of it. Hey Chris Collins, how you doing? And then these little wedges then will sort of just fall nicely into the, it's actually really well done. I'll bring up the camera, let you have a look. In 1 second. Again, it's just super building, great design. It's so good, I love stuff like this. It's really classy way to come up with these sort of ideas. You're essentially taking a toy, if you will, or a building toy that kind of likes to work in squares and right angles, and sort of transform that to fit seamlessly into a much more difficult angle. Right, we just have lots of pictures and stuff going, but as you well know by now, I'm not going to be putting the pictures in, so I'm just going to stick the actual tiles themselves into place, and I can sort of re-explore the pictures in the future if I see fit. And then what do we have here? Some little lights then that are shining down onto the pictures. I don't know if anything's going to be attached to these now or what. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's good. Oh man, very good. Then yeah, so like I was saying previously, I have a window frame here. I have no window to put, or a window pane, but no frame to put it into. But there's a very cool little build coming up here now, which will sort of explain the reason and purpose for it. And once I finish this, I'll bring the whole thing over and just let you have a little look at sorry, my cat's going mental here, I don't know what's wrong. Yeah, so what we've actually got here is a nice little sort of display stand, which has something inside. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, it's a special sort of dagger or something. It's quite cool. So we're just building that up, and the display stand then has the. Let me just concentrate on building this here because I don't fully understand what I'm doing. Go on there, and that, and that, and another one goes on top. This is all very intricate for whatever it is it's meant to be. Okay, and then that goes on like that. Okay, we've got it. And then this actually goes on too. So what we've basically done, we've created this cool little display, which is built into a treasure chest, and then it actually attaches up into the bottom of the wall. It has like a fancy dagger in underneath it, so it attaches into the bottom of the wall, and then the actual window pane, which I was confused about, it goes into the treasure chest and is used to create just, you can see there, a little sort of glass panel in that protects the little dagger or whatever it is that was underneath. Okay, just a couple more little design elements left. To go on the exterior of the wall. Let's just dress up the side of the windows. We're very nearly done. We're actually just coming up the section now where we're placing this piece into the base which we built up previously, and I'll show you that just to give you an idea of what we've done. What makes this so interesting. I'll just bring it a wee bit closer to the camera. So here you can see the build itself. So you can see there it's essentially a 90-degree angle, but this whole section here has been cut off at 45 degrees. So they've plated this whole section, they've plated the whole way along here, and then we've just got sort of studs at just regular distances. And then on the sides, on either side, on the square sides, we've used these plates that have, you know, the little sort of railing or track bit on the side. And that then just means that the plate actually comes out a little bit from the edge of the wall. So we've then built this wall. So obviously it wouldn't be able to fit straight onto plates lined up there because of the angle. But we've built this wall then from the ground up, as you can see. And it then has, let me just set that down in a second. It has these here pieces on the end. So the plates are built out from the edge of the wall with these little pieces here which protrude. And then what you do is, so if I take that, this then just slides down in, clips into those studs, and it is seamless. What a fantastic way to present a 45-degree angle in a Lego set. And then that's what you're left with. So I think that's class. I don't know about anybody else, but I just think that's awesome. So give us a thumbs up if you think the designers have done a really good job here. I think they've done a wonderful job. I'm so impressed with that. Even just the way it's designed to slide down in, I think it's fantastic. I do love some of these sets. The level of complexity within Lego now is sort of different level. And that for me is something truly unique and creative. Okay, so just one last little bit to do then. We're actually going to put this little piece of roller coaster track, the red curve in. So What do we need? We need a piece that isn't here, damn it. What's going on? Ah, it is here. Whew. I thought we were missing another piece there because we were missing one in the last bag and we definitely were missing it. I've had a wee quick nose around, I can't see it anymore. So this then clips presumably into the middle bar. And then there's just a couple of little sort of decorative bits to go on the outside, just using little red telephones. And a 1x2 plate with the clip on the edge. And then a couple of wee quarter tiles just to decorate it up. So one of them going on that side. Just straighten these tiles up. And then we will have one going on the other side. And then that completes that little section of the build. And that also is my work done for the night. The furnace is in there. Just double check, look, there's nothing else. No, that stuff's done. And then this just clips onto the outside of the building. There's just a wee clip on the side there, and that goes on. So I am going to just pop it on top here for now, just for storage. We haven't quite finished. We've just still this little section to do here, but just for now, just so that you can kind of visualize what we've done. That just clips on there, and there we have the bulk of level. I'm going to say level 3 because the bottom level is essentially 2 pieces. I'll hold that up actually so you can see it a little better in the camera. There we go. So that's kind of where we're up to then anyway. So we're really getting on well. The build's looking brilliant. And then from the other side, there you go. So I am going to call it a night there. I'm reasonably happy with my progress. And my children will be home at any moment, so I need to be ready for them. And yeah, good. Thank you very much for tuning in, anyone that did, and anyone that's watched. I'm sure nobody's watched right the way through because that would be you getting most of your life that you're not getting back. If you've watched for a few minutes, thank you. If you've watched for 10 seconds, thank you. Appreciate anyone tuning in, irrespective of the time. Remember, folks, give us a wee thumbs up on the stream before you tune out. I massively appreciate that. Double tap on screen, hit the thumb, whatever it checks. It helps motivate me a little bit as well. I don't do it for any form of gratification other than I just enjoy building. It's a nice way to sort of build with other people and share that. But at the same time, if people are enjoying it, then it's nice. It's nice to get that recognition. Give us a wee sub as well, and then you'll know whenever I'm tuning back in to do a bit more of this set. But have a great evening anyway, folks. I'm going to go and watch at the end of the Liverpool match. Hopefully they're losing. And I will catch you all next time out there. It's just a wee bit of a sort of closer look on the inside of the build. Just so you can have a wee bit more detail and kind of see what we've done. It's kind of hard to see down in because of the angles. But there you go. Thank you again then, folks. And